Okay, I think we can start the session. Hope you can hear my voice and the screen is also visible. Please confirm. Anyone,
Uh,
please confirm.
yes, we are able to hear.
Yeah. So, firstly, hi everyone and welcome. Today marks the start of your exciting journey into generative AI. And even if you are completely new to AI or programming, so don't worry, you are in exactly the right place. So by the end of this course, you will be confident enough to build your own generative applications and be ready for exciting job opportunities. So this is our first demo session where I'll be explaining you what are the prerequisites required for the course. Actually, you do not require any prior knowledge for attending this course. Okay, and what is the skill set required for generative AI and how the uh, job opportunities are coming up and what are the future job opportunities and also what they are expecting from the person who is attending for the interview. Okay, so these kind of questions we are going to answer, and of course we are going to go into some of the details of generative AI uh, in a overview level. All right, and yeah, tomorrow we are going to go deeper into the concepts. Today it is required actually to understand tomorrow's class. Okay, so let me start this session. And before we go any further, let me introduce myself. This is Naveen, and I have been graduated from NIT Trichy, and I have overall 8.5 years of experience. Currently, I'm working as a AI specialist in one of the MNC based companies. So, I'll be your instructor for generative AI. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I'm going directly into the session. Okay, so most of you may not be knowing what is artificial intelligence, right? So this gives you whatever we are going to discuss. It will be on a beginner level. Okay, just to tell you what is exactly happening and what is a rough definition of terms. Okay, so if I ask you what is artificial intelligence, how would you answer that? So AI, artificial intelligence, is when machines think and act like humans. Am I right? So basically, we are interacting with the AI every day. So it may be Netflix recommendations of your favorite movies, Alexa answering your questions, or Google Maps guiding you through traffic. Right? AI is everywhere, and it's changing our lives rapidly. Okay, and if we see this picture over here, so this is the broader spectrum of artificial intelligence, where you can see machine learning, deep learning, and generative AI. So artificial intelligence is the overall domain, and you have subfields: machine learning, deep learning, and generative AI. Okay, so we are going to discuss what these subfields are going to deal. Okay, and what are the definitions of it, and why do we require to learn these particular subfields to settle as a generative AI engineer. All right, yeah. So firstly, I would like to ask people, what is generative AI? Okay, so if I ask you, the answer would be like generative AI is a branch of artificial intelligence that we have seen just now, which focuses on creating new content, right? So, such as text, images, audio, video, or the code, or even the data, right? So, these are the major applications what we know, okay? But generative AI is almost is emerging, as you know already, and it is almost penetrating into many of the other industries. It may not be healthcare, finance, etc., etc., that you already know. Apart from that, in biological data sequences, where the drug discovery, or of the CT scans or MRI scans, etc., etc. There also we are using generative AI and also 3D model generation, and in case of tabular or charts for forming and product designs and blueprints. So these things we may not have encountered any of the news articles, or maybe in any of the YouTube videos, because this is still going on. And of course we have Hollywood is using generative AI for making movies as well. So they started making movies using generative AI. Also, you would have used a chat GPT for Ghibli art, or Sora for video generation, etc., etc., right? So to tell you simply, generative AI is emerging into almost every domain, and its applications are not limited to text, image, audio, and video. All right. So if you think that I'm going little bit fast, don't worry. I'm going to explain all these things in the next slides. Okay. Artificial intelligence, what is artificial intelligence, deep learning, generative AI, etc., etc. Yeah. So the question comes up, why you should learn generative AI. Okay, so you would have already gone through many news articles or videos saying about there is a huge talent gap in companies, or which is going to be created in the coming months. All right, so we have around 1 million talent gap in India itself. So this is one of the job survey company, Bain and Company, and of course you can see these kind of statistics in World Economic Forum as well, where it says that millions of jobs are going to get created in the domain of artificial intelligence. All right, so if you know, 2025 is a time when generative AI is going to boom. Okay, you know, right? So 2023 November, ChatGPT, with the advent of ChatGPT, so it created a revolution in the IT world, right? And almost in 5 days, 1 million subscribers started using ChatGPT. So which is no other application has this milestone. All right, and see a lack of skilled talent, so we will be having a huge opportunity. And this I have already told you that generative AI is powering tools in every industry, right? And of course high paying roles are opening up globally, which if you are following any of the job portals, you would be already learning knowing about this. Okay, so I have kept a little bit of statistics over here that I collected from the reputed job portals. All right, surveys I would say. And in 2025 itself, there will be a talent gap of around 5 lakh vacancies, and it is going to increase year over year. Okay, so these statistics I need not to show, because you already know about all this, or you're already hearing about this in one or other portals. Okay, so again, when coming to generative AI, to become a successful generative AI engineer, or to have a real-time experience as a generative AI engineer, so these are the major concepts that you need to have a grip on. All right, so you need to have Python basics, and of course Python advanced as well. So this is not only basics, it is Python advanced as well. You should know about the libraries like NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, etc. And you must know machine learning basics, deep learning, NLP, generative AI, and advanced generative AI. We are going to have a look at all these concepts in a detailed manner in the coming slides. All right, yeah. Now let me open my notepad, and hope you can see my screen. I opened a notepad, right? You can see, right? Can someone please confirm? You can see the notepad, right?
Yeah, we are able to see.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, when we started about this generative AI training, a job-oriented program that we have created, uh, we have kept a goal for ourselves first, right? So my goal is to take you from beginner. So we are not expecting any knowledge, prior knowledge, right? So we want to take you from beginner level to job ready generative AI professional. So we want to keep you with the knowledge which is required for a generative AI engineer who is already working in real time. All right, and we are expecting you people to set a goal. Okay, land a great job in generative AI after this course. These are our goals. And um, we have kept that promise to ourselves that we are going to give full support for teaching concepts and making you a real-time generative AI professional with some experience. Okay, the knowledge that needed. All right, So these are the goals that we have kept for ourselves, and we are expecting the same from you as well. So our goal is to grab a job in generative AI once this course is completed. So that is thing. And I was telling you, right? So the division of artificial intelligence, right? So when we say about, let me write it down, because I'm expecting you people do not know what artificial intelligence is. I already given you a definition of what artificial intelligence, right? So it simply means teaching machines to think and learn like humans do. Okay. So these are the basic definitions of each and every field. And machine learning, you may not be knowing about this particular term, machine learning, right? And it all started in 2008 onwards. Machine learning jobs, you can see plenty of jobs on machine learning from that particular time, and it was booming even after even till 2015, 2016, etc., etc. And of course their job skill set is also expanding. So the companies are expecting the machine learning engineers to have generative AI knowledge as well these days. Okay. So yeah, machine learning, what do you mean by machine learning? Machine learning is something where we teach computers to learn from data and perform tasks with minimal human intervention. All right. So this is the simplest definition of machine learning. Okay. So for example, if you are using Google Maps, okay, or spam email detections, or recommendations in e-commerce website, in websites like YouTube, Flipkart, etc. So all these are basically your machine learning applications. All right. So we'll write some algorithms so that if you get a spam email in your Gmail, or in your Gmail, so it will be automatically sorted, right? So whether that email is coming under spam or social or promotions, or it is a exact email that a person is required, like a inbox, right? So those kind of division of emails are also coming under the machine learning algorithms itself. Okay. If we want to write machine learning applications, we can write many, but these are some of the well noted ones. And coming to deep learning, okay, so these things, artificial intelligence and machine learning, you would have already known the definition of it, and also the applications of it as well. Okay. So even before generative AI has come into picture, we were having some type of chatbots, right? So those chatbots were using a machine learning algorithm itself. But now almost all of the chatbots are text generation algorithms are based on generative AI itself. Okay. And now coming to the deep learning part over here. What is this deep learning? Okay. So deep learning is an advanced form of machine learning that uses neural networks. Okay. So these are nothing but tiny artificial brains. Okay. At this point of time, you need not to get scared of these particular terms like neural networks, or even the tiny artificial brains, etc., etc., because we are going to cover this entire things in a very detailed manner in the coming classes. All right. So deep learning here is nothing but if you ask me the applications of deep learning, self-driving cars, okay, and medical scans, medical scans like MRI or CT scans, etc., etc., and also image recognition, etc. So these are all the applications of deep learning. So if you are going to attend any generative AI program, you must have very deep understanding on deep learning firstly. Okay, even if you do not have machine learning entire knowledge, that is fine, but you must have a great understanding of deep learning concepts like neural networks, artificial neural network, shallow neural network, perceptron. It starts from there. And propagation concepts, gradient descent, vanishing gradient, etc., etc., etc. So all these are part of your deep learning itself. Okay, so at this point of time, you don't get scared about these words. All right. And then coming to generative AI, we already know about this, right? Generative AI is nothing but a subfield of artificial intelligence, which is intended to create data. Okay, so the data may be code, text, image, audio, or video. Okay, machines being genuinely creative is what we can keep as an example of generative AI. So the definition being creating new content, which you already know. That's the reason I did not keep over here, but yeah. And the applications also I need not to say, because we are already using many LLMs like GPT or Claude, Gemini, etc., etc., for creating multiple the code generation or text for writing emails or even videos using the runway Sora models, etc., etc., right? So that's the reason I'm not keeping over here. And so the next things comes now. Okay, so, someone wants to ask any question at this point? If not, so please go on mute, and we'll discuss what is the skill set required for generative AI engineer.
Yes, sorry for interrupting.
Yeah,
What is agentic AI?
sorry.
Agentic AI.
Yeah, agentic AI. We'll cover the introduction to agentic AI, and we'll cover the basics of agentic AI. So, agentic AI is not part of it, but all the concepts that are required for agentic AI will be covered. So whatever the dependent topics of agentic AI will be covered, and we'll be giving the basics of agentic AI.
What is the difference between Gen AI and agentic AI?
So agentic AI, that takes it autonomically take actions to achieve specific goals. Okay, so instead of generative AI, we usually we will have some kind of intervention on the model. But agentic AI is nothing but we will give a task, and we will ask it how to figure it out and how to complete it. Okay, so what they'll do is they'll plan, reason, and take multiple steps without human instructions. Okay, without human interactions itself, it is able to interact. So completely, it is nothing but we are minimizing the intervention of humans.
Okay.
Okay, and the AI agents, whatever we are going to create, they are going to act like humans, and they'll do the task itself. So it is going to create a revolution in the coming years. Of course, it already started. And yeah, this is about agentic AI.
Okay.
So minimal human intervention is something the difference between generative AI and agentic AI. So Auto GPT or Agent GPT, you would have already heard about it, or AI personal assistants or customer support agents. They handle full conversations, and of course, they resolve any kind of issues as well by their own. We need not to involve and tell this thing you have to do something like that. Okay, we'll train everything from the basics to the advanced level, and it will be able to do the task by its own. All right. Yeah.
Okay. Thank
So firstly, yeah, we were at this point, right? What is the skill set required for generative AI engineer, right? Firstly, you need to have a programming knowledge, which is a Python. Okay, so why Python? So our main aim, these things you already know, right? Python is required, but you may not be knowing why Python. Okay, we have other programming languages as well, right? Like a JavaScript or Java, etc., etc. But Python is most widely used or built using Python code. Okay, Python has most comprehensive set of AI or uh, I request you to mute yourself. Somebody is speaking. Okay, and Python has comprehensive set of AI or ML libraries. I was saying, right? It might be PyTorch or TensorFlow or Hugging Face transformers or OpenCV, NumPy, Pandas, etc. So Python already has all the set of AI or ML libraries in it, so which can be used readily. Okay, but if you take other programming languages, they are not having this set of libraries. That is the reason we are most widely using it. I'm sorry. So these libraries, they make it easy to build, train, fine tune, and deploy Gen AI models without reinventing the wheel. Okay, we can keep it something like that. So the building, training, fine tuning, and deploying will be very much easier if you use Python. Okay, that is the reason we are using Python. Okay, and then what about statistics, stats, and maths? Is it also required for becoming a generative AI engineer? I would say yes, to some extent. So if you are a machine learning engineer, you should have a very in-depth knowledge on statistics and maths. Okay, but coming to generative AI engineer, you must need some type of important concepts. Okay, like vectors or matrices and these will be used in embeddings and neural network operations. Okay, this thing, and even the transformers as well, but you may not understand what the transformers or what are embeddings or neural network operations, right? So these are the concepts we require, right, for becoming a generative AI engineer, and probability basics. Okay, so this is used for predicting and generating outputs, like selecting next words, etc., etc. So this we usually use in convolution neural networks. Okay, and then we have concepts like gradient descent, which I was telling you. This is a very important concept, and of course it is a optimization technique. All right, so this is widely used in deep learning. All right, so when we discuss a deep learning concept, okay, we will have to learn, or we will be learning this gradient descent in a in-depth manner, because it is actually required. Okay, even the fine tuning or whatever the neural network operations will be happening, right? So this is a way of improvising the model. Okay, so this will help us, so etc., etc. Okay, this type of concepts are required for generative AI. And then somebody asked me earlier, do we require machine learning to a greater extent? Okay, So if I'm so they asked me, they personally pinged me like this in our group. So they asked me whether is it required to learn machine learning as well for becoming a generative AI engineer. Okay, so the answer to this question is you need machine learning basics. Okay, you should not we it is not really expected for a person to have in-depth understanding of machine learning concepts, because we have many methods like supervised learning or semi-supervised learning or reinforcement, etc., etc. So we have many methods like knns, addition trees, etc., etc., but those are not required as part of your generative AI syllabus. Okay, you need understanding over that, but you will not be working on it. Okay, so in why we need machine learning from data, right? So before we advance anything, we need to have a basic knowledge over things, right? So if you take deep learning is a subfield of machine learning again. So you should know a basics of machine learning. I request someone to please go on mute. So this type of this much knowledge is essential for becoming a generative AI. So for example, if we take training a text generation model by feeding it many examples, so that it can predict the next word, right? So how it is happening, predicting the next word. So if we take this particular example, okay, so we will come to know how the machine learning will be taking this particular task and performing it, and thereby we will come up we will get a basic idea of how generative AI is going to do the same task. Okay, generative AI is nothing but an advanced technology or field of machine learning and deep learning. Okay, so for becoming a generative AI engineer, you must have this set machine learning basics, etc., etc., and your actual preparation for generative AI interviews starts from this particular step. Okay, it is always required to have Python. Okay, Python, stats, maths, and machine learning basics. But to have a deeper understanding of generative AI, you must have a very good understanding or in-depth understanding of what this deep learning is all about, and how it is going to influence the neural networks that are going to be used in your generative AI models. So use neural networks which you learn in deep learning. Okay, so understanding neural networks lets you grasp how generative AI generates creative outputs. Okay, this is the mandatory concept, or the concept which requires in-depth understanding for becoming a successful generative AI engineer. Okay, so knowing neural networks function help you fine tune parameters of your models as well. Okay, so this is the point where we learn gradient descent, or where we learn the feed forward propagation and back propagation, and vanishing gradient, activation functions, etc., etc. So whatever the LLMs we are using today, Chat GPT is an application. So GPT, Claude, Gemini, etc., etc. So they will always work on the principles of deep learning only on this neural networks itself. Okay, to keep you, to keep it short, I would say transformers coming in deep learning is the backbone of all LLMs. Okay, yeah. Now, What is the next concept required for a generative AI engineer? Processing. Okay. So you can ignore these spelling mistakes. Okay, our intention is not to write correct words, but to deliver the concept right. So do you know machines can understand English language? A machine cannot understand English language. Okay, so you should make a machine understand the English language. Okay, so machine only takes up the data which is in vector form or numerical form, to keep it simple. Okay, so natural language processing is that concept, okay, which helps converting the language into numerical form. Okay, we have different ways of representing a language into numerical forms, maybe word embeddings, etc., etc., or we have a couple of methods like one hot coding, or limitation, stemming, etc., etc., text to pre-processing and text feature feature extraction, etc., etc., will be coming as part of your natural language models. Okay, this is the point where one will be learning the transformers as well, which I was telling you, right? Which are the backbones of LLMs, all LLMs. So transformers will be part of it. So it is an advanced concept. Okay, so this is the reason you must know natural language processing, because your machine cannot understand English language and it must be converted into some numerical form. Okay, so this is the main aim of natural language processing. Okay, and then what is required again? Basics of generative AI. Okay, so generative AI specifically teaches models to produce new original content, right? So this is okay. Just to keep it short, this is the point where you learn the transformers concept and the self-attention mechanism, etc., etc., which are which requires your attention in the class. Okay, so this is a very important concept for anyone, because this self attention mechanism will be asked in your interviews as well as a basic question, because all the LLMs are dependent on this transformer itself. Okay, and then you should know transfer learning. Okay, so where we use the Hugging Face transformers, and we'll take up some basic models and we'll create some models, right? We'll create some generative AI applications, right? So all these are part of your basics of generative AI. Of course we have many other techniques as well, but yeah, for now, basics of generative AI you must need. And this is the point where we will introduce you to the LLMs, API keys, etc., etc., and API function calls. So all those will be part of your basics of generative AI. And then what more do you need for becoming a successful generative AI engineer, right? So you should know the advanced generative AI concepts. I'll show you the course curriculum where you will get very good understanding of what the sequence is and how to learn everything, etc., etc., right? So I'll show that after I complete this one. So advanced generative AI, when this is coming, you will be learning about fine tuning and prompt engineering, and you will be introduced to LangChain, RAG, Llama Index, etc., etc., and of course you will be learning more about the cloud models, and cloud deployment. Okay, I'm just giving you basic points of each of the concepts. But to become a successful generative AI engineer, you must have very good understanding of all these concepts, or of course in-depth understanding of all these concepts. Okay, and this is what we are going to cover in our program. Okay, I'll show you the brochure, and if you have any kind of questions, you can ask me later on. But I would like to say that whatever the concepts we have kept over here in the curriculum, the concepts are not limited to this. Because I did not if I want to make this brochure or curriculum, I can make it up for even 10 pages as well. But I did not do that, because you will be getting good understanding over things when we go in a sequential manner. All right, so you need not to worry about that. But I kept a major points of what we need to discuss in this kind of topics. All right, so firstly, as I was saying, no prior knowledge is required for attending this particular course, and our main aim is to get a job after we complete this course. Okay, so we must know programming fundamentals like this. And from here it is an advanced topic of Python. Okay, and we'll be discussing on the libraries like NumPy, Pandas, and Matplotlib. They'll be useful for day-to-day activities that you are going to perform. All right, so firstly we will cover this Python fundamentals. We'll teach the Python basics, where why the Python is popular, and variables, syntax, data types. So each of these points over here, we will have hours of understanding. Okay, hours of coverage on these particular concepts. But we have kept it in a simple manner. And control flow statements, you must know, if else elif statement. Okay, so and the loops, you should understand. Functions are mandatory for writing the code in generative AI while creating the generative AI application. Okay, and file and API handling is required and mandatory. And of course file as well. Okay, and these libraries, if we take for tensors, embeddings, vector math, etc., etc., we were saying, right? When we talk in English to a LLM, it can't understand English. Basically it should convert that particular English language into some type of embeddings, right? So when you know about all these things, you will be understanding the behind scenes. Okay, and pandas for cleaning and preparing tabular or nested data, and matplotlib for visualizing model performance and embeddings. Okay, and so once you complete this Python, all right, when we discuss on deep learning concept or whatever, where we uh, teach about TensorFlow or PyTorch or Keras, right? There also we'll be using these kind of libraries. Okay, to see how the model is performing, to see how the model is able to discriminate some of the data points. Okay, that is the reason you should know. Even you are going to use these libraries in your day-to-day life as well. We'll have a thorough understanding, because when we say it is a job oriented program, we must keep you knowledge. We must update or upgrade your knowledge to a person who is working in real time, right? So we will have a thorough understanding of all these concepts, and then we will learn about machine learning essentials required for generative AI. Okay, then deep learning comes here. Deep learning is, as I was saying, right, deep learning is mandatory, and you must have very in-depth understanding of each and every concept. Okay, we will discuss the introduction to neural networks, deep learning models, optimizers, epochs, etc., etc., RNN, LSTM, GRU, and deployment basics. Okay, so what is so special about this particular course is that sometimes we may not understand the concept in a simple way. Okay, for example, we have a complex deep learning concept, and we, as a trainer, I need to simplify this, or I need to simplify, or make you understand in in-depth manner, right? So these are the times I'll be explaining mathematical problems that we solved during our btech, right? So when you understand this math behind these particular models, you will be having a thorough knowledge on these particular concepts. Okay, so when I explain a math problem involving neural networks and back propagation, for front forward propagation, feed forward neural networks, etc., etc., when I explain a simple math problem which is going to take almost 1.5 or 2 hours for solving that problem itself, okay, so if you listen to that particular problem, you will have in-depth understanding of all these concepts. Okay, it is not about explaining you theoretically, and not about doing practical examples or practical assignments. It is also required to solve some kind of mathematical problems to have a deep understanding of all these concepts. Okay, that also we are going to cover. And then natural language processing, I was telling you, right? Machines, the enable machines to understand and process human language. So this is a concept which will explain you how things are happening inside any text generation model or summarizer, etc., etc. Okay, so the tokenization will be happening, and embedding, so those things, we will have a thorough knowledge on each and everything in NLP. And then we'll be covering RNN, LSTM, as I was saying here, right? In depth, we'll be covering in the NLP. After that, I'll be introducing you to the transformers, like Hugging Face transformers, or the self attention mechanism, which is again the backbone of LLMs. Okay, and foundations of generative AI. So we'll be discussing the text generation applications, and we'll discuss generative versus discriminative models. Okay, here also we will have, so the thing I missed till now is we are going to have mini projects for each and every concept, and also we are going to solve mini exercises on that particular concept. Okay, so even it comes to deep learning or natural language processing or whatever, we are going to give equal importance to theoretical and practical exposure. Also we are going to solve multiple mathematical problems to understand the concept in a deeper way. Yeah, and Hugging Face transformers, open AIs, and then transformers. We'll see these mechanisms, self-attention mechanism, and we'll enter into the transfer learning, where we will be using Hugging Face transformers for building small generative AI applications using the basic models. All right, and then we'll introduce you to the large language models. Okay, LLMs. We'll introduce you to the smaller models first, and then API keys and parameter efficient tuning. So this is a sequence of our course curriculum, and fine tuning model and capstone projects. Okay, so this is the course curriculum we are going to follow. Okay, and but this is not at all limited. Okay, when I am saying the transformers, of course there are many mini topics which will be coming in between. Okay, even if it is transfer learning, I can keep 10 points for this particular concept itself, but I just kept only three things. I'll be updating this course curriculum, but when we promise you that we are going to make you a generative AI engineer, who is having equal knowledge of the person who is working in the real time, so we must go in depth in each and every concept. Okay, so I'll be updating this course curriculum in such a way that I'll keep all the points over here if you want the brochure to look lengthier. All right, and then fine tuning, capstone projects, etc., etc. Okay, so this is the course curriculum, and I would like to explain you when I say at this point, does anyone have any kind of doubts? You can ask me at this point, or I'll be explaining you how we can become a complete generative AI engineer, and what is the approach that I'm going to follow now.
Yeah, I just have a question. Are we going to discuss anything about the agents?
Sorry, discuss anything about
Agents, sir.
agents. I was telling you, right? So agents basics, agentic AI, we are going to cover the basics of agentic AI, but whatever the knowledge, in-depth knowledge that you require to understand agentic AI will be covered.
Okay, because I haven't seen it in the brochure, so you'll be covering as part of the curriculum,
So
right?
agents, in the sense, it comes in two ways. Okay, so the one being the agentic AI, or agents being the chat or RAG in your lang chain. Okay, so there also the agents will be coming. We will have a thorough understanding on that.
Okay. And what will be the duration of the course, and at what time it will start daily, and how much time it will take daily?
Yeah, sure. I'll be covering that part. So, firstly, let me give you this thing. All right, the what makes our course special. All right, so that you'll be able to get all the answers with that itself. Okay, so let me show. I was you were asking about agents, right? That will be coming as part of your lang chain as well. Okay, so when we explain your concept, we'll be showing these kind of diagrams. Okay, instead of writing everything on the notepad, we'll keep this snapshot of the diagram over here, notepad, and I will explain you every concept in a simple manner. Okay, this will make our understanding of the concept easier. Okay, and not only that. Um, so we will maintain some kind of mind maps like this to make you have a good understanding over the sequence of things. Okay, so if you see this, you can understand like GPT models. What are GPT models? What is T5, BERT, Robot? All these are basic models which are available in Hugging Face transformers as well, and open source LLMs, etc., etc. Right? So these kind of mind maps we'll keep it in our program. And also I'll be showing you the transformers where okay, transformers. So we will be thoroughly covering on the architecture and what is actually happening inside. Okay, and how the transformer is different from the other earlier models. And if you are going to write a code, what are the steps you need to consider. Okay, and how the generative models and discriminative models were separated. So we will keep the mind maps, and of course we will keep the sequence of things over here. We'll paste it in the notepad, and we'll introduce you to that particular concept. So your this make you understand the concept in a simpler manner, and you can observe the entire concept in a less amount of time. So that is our main aim. Okay, and even deep learning. So each and every concept we will provide this ppt for you for your understanding. So that is fine. We are going to cover how the deep learning concept has evolved, and what are exactly happening inside the deep learning. Okay, and also here, if you see, this is a mind map of deep learning. So when we are at this point, you will be able to understand at what point we are, and what are the concepts which are coming next. Okay, and what are the concepts we have completed. In this way you will have a thorough understanding of entire concept. Okay, so this is one method we are following to keep you to make you understand the complex topics in a easier way. Okay, and even natural language processing. So we'll provide these slides to you directly. We'll keep this in a study material, and we will attach these slides as well. So we will cover everything from the basics. Okay, so it won't be fast forward. Where you asked a question, right? How much time it is going to take? We have kept a target of completing this entire course in 3 months. But based on your doubts, okay, based on your doubts, if you get any doubt, it is our responsibility to make you understand the entire concept, right? In that point, it may exceed a little bit, or a plus or minus 5 days. Okay, so this way. Yeah, so I was telling you, right, what makes you special, what makes this course special. So we designed this course specifically for beginners. Okay, so the same generative AI, this can be taught in 2 months itself. But we want people to understand each and every concept in a detailed manner, so it may exceed to 3 months. So that is the reason we have kept it as 3 months live training. Okay, we will not we won't be providing any recording. I mean, when I say recording, after the class, you will be getting the recorded sessions. Okay, that you need not to worry about. But entirely, we are going to explain this a course in a live training manner. Okay, I will not be providing you go through this video and come to class, or I'll skip a class and will be providing the recorded content. Okay, so I won't be doing such kind of things unless it is important for you to have a prior knowledge for understanding the subsequent topic. Okay, and we will give equal importance to both theoretical and practical. Okay, I was telling you, right, each and every concept will have mini projects, assignments, and exercises. Okay, and as I was saying, right, we have simplified many of the complex topics. Okay, using say mind maps, or using the math problems to make you understand behind the scenes. And this will help you understand the difficult concept in a beginner friendly way. Okay, and we provide the study materials and assignments for each and every concept, so that you need not to search here and there in the internet for your interview preparation. Okay, and at the end of the course, our main aim our main aim is to make you job ready. Okay, so this is the thing. So for this, we might extend, we are keeping only 1 hour per day, but it might exceed based on your doubts. Okay, so yeah, these are the features that I would say. So you do not require any kind of prior knowledge, which is the first point. No prior knowledge is required, because we are going to cover everything from basics, zero level to advanced. So this is the thing. Okay, so yeah, this is the time for you to ask any kind of questions. Okay, so that I would explain things better way.
Yeah, so it's a generic question. Daily, at what time you are planning to start the session?
Reinforce, sorry, reinforcement.
Daily, no, not about the topic. Daily, at what time you are planning to start the session?
So we you can ask that to so the institute will be covering that, but for 9 p.m. IST is what we have kept.
Weekdays 9 p.m. IST, right?
Yes, yes, correct.
Okay.
Sir, what about class notes, sir?
We will be providing that. So this is a notepad, right? Here I can convert it into PDF and I can send you directly, or I'll be providing you the study material as well. So I was telling you, right, whatever we have here, the slides we will keep, and the explanation will be given behind each beneath each and every slide. Okay, we'll be keeping the important snapshots in the study material, and we'll give the explanation for each and every slide. Okay, so that
On,
way,
on, on daily basis, sir.
yes, on each and every concept, at the end of concept.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sir. This is Kormara.
Hi,
Hello.
please tell me.
After course completed, any providing any certificates?
Certificates you can check with the institute itself, and they'll be able to give you the answer.
Okay.
Yes, of course. In any IT course you have, so certificate is not valuable when you are going to join in any job. Okay, so what they want is a skill set. Okay, and it doesn't give much value to your resume, even if you keep any certificate, but it is not in my limit, so you can ask the institute, and they'll be providing you the explanation of that.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one
Any
question.
questions, please?
So, is my voice audible?
Sorry, your voice is not audible. One second, please. Somebody has raised a question. Yeah, somebody has messaged me. I am Java developer. I do not have any prior knowledge on Python and ML. Yes, you are welcome for attending this course, because we are going to cover everything. Right, Python programming, it covers everything. So you do not require. Of course, if you know Java, learning Python will also become easier when you learn about the concepts like loops or functions, etc., etc. So for this particular course, we are going to cover in-depth and advanced Python. Okay, whatever is required for doing a job as a generative AI engineer. Okay, so that you need not to worry about it. So you just give responsibility to us. You keep everything to us, and we'll make you ready for the job. Okay, so I was telling you, right? That is our goal, basically. Take you from beginner to job ready generative AI professional. Yeah. So if someone's voice I'm not able to hear, please message in the chat box. Okay. So that I'll be able to answer. Is data science? Yeah. Yeah. Yes, please. Yes. Obviously, if you want me to explain in a detailed way, I can give it a see. See, every time when we say this job oriented, the learning should also go in a sequential manner. So step by step we have to learn from basics to advanced. We should learn, right? Basics to advanced. So you were asking about this mm, front end applications, right? Of course. Okay, firstly we will you know do exercises in our particular program. We will create gen AI applications using the transformers. Okay, so it might be Hugging Face transformer. Okay, or the basic models that we have in Hugging Face transformers. Okay, so you get a clear understanding of how modern Gen AI works at its core. Okay, so when we will be having a thorough exercises on the basic models available in a Hugging Face transformer, which is part of our course, right? First we'll go in this way, and next what we'll do is you will build contents by experimenting with leading open source models. Okay, open source models like Llama, Falcon, etc. Okay, so when you get a good understanding on using the open source model, then we will be advancing into industry APIs. Okay, using APIs such as OpenAI API key, or Gemini, Claude, etc. Okay, so we will create models based on this, API key models. Okay, these are not open source; these are advanced models. Okay, so when we discuss about this concept, we usually create application in our local system itself using any front-end applications, right? Streamlit or Gradio, etc. Okay, so this is your question, right? Firstly, we will deploy our application in the local system itself, and then we will move to cloud. Okay, so where you will deploy your generative AI applications in AWS or GCP. Okay, so that way you will be leveraging the vector databases which these services are offering. Okay, here also the mini project that we are going to cover may use the front end tools like Streamlit or Gradio. Okay, so this is a cloud deployment, which are mini projects. And then coming to capstone project, when we cover this capstone project, so you'll bring it all together by launching full production ready real-time generative AI applications. Okay, Gen AI applications. Okay, where you will be learning most of the things like deployment in the cloud, or monitoring or security. Okay, so applications, so main part is security or deployment or monitoring. So these are the things which you will do as a generative AI engineer every day. Okay, yeah, so you were asking, right, the Streamlit application, are we going to use I mean front end tools, are we going to use this? Yes, of course we are going to use. And this is a sequence of learning any concept. Okay, so by the end of this capstone project, you will be having knowledge equal to the real-time employee who is already working in a company. Okay, so that is the thing. Yeah, CICD. Yeah, Kubernetes, yes, Docker, Kubernetes, etc. Right? Yeah, we will provide you the basics. Like when I say this enterprise application, right? We will be covering the two capstone projects, one on AWS and the other on GCP. There we'll be having the first coming to data extraction, okay, data ingestion, to the deployment, okay, deployment or logging, etc., where we'll be having uh, a basic knowledge of things like CI/CD pipeline and why we are using Kubernetes at that particular point of time. Okay, yeah, we will not go in depth into that because it takes up a lot of time. And if you require that particular knowledge, you can always request me. We will have a session on that as well.
Yeah, hi sir.
Yeah,
Sir,
please.
actually, right, there are some existing AI tools are there like Grok, Bolt, Cloudable, Emily, right? There are so many are there like Manos, right? So can you assist us in how we can use those existing AIs as well? Because nowadays, right, a lot of people are generating the code and PPTs and Excels and a lot of the things they are doing with that, right?
Yeah,
So is those AIs also covered in this our curriculum?
you meant this, how we create these PPTs or
Right.
okay, yeah, that is yes, I'll tell you in the class. Okay,
Mhm.
yeah, we can, yeah, this PPT creation and all, you can use this Gamma app, etc., right? Which we already know. Gamma app, you can just log in and use it for creating the PPTs, and Hyperwrite, etc., we have for simplifying our day-to-day job, right? We can, yes, I'll do that. I mean, I'll explain.
Yeah, yeah. I saw one small video, right? So while using the lovable AI tool, so using the only one screenshot, a complete screenshot of the that page. So it's a completely the a complete whole web page in the web application has been implemented by this lovable AI. So
Okay.
yeah, so while we are the existing AI tools also we need to know, right? So how to use
Yes,
those
yes,
things.
yes, correct,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
correct.
Can you please consider this one as well in our
Sure,
curriculum?
sure, sure, sure. I'll take a note of it. Yeah, sure.
Okay, sir.
Yes, someone has asked one more question. I hope all the tools and technologies are covered in the curriculum. Yes, yes,
Yeah,
it is.
yeah, me only. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm working as a senior programmer. I want to move to not just if you want to have.
Yes, sir. In worst case, if we have not attended the session, one or two, so can you please provide us? Means don't provide
Yes,
us.
please.
Can at least give you the access to, right?
Sorry, guardrails of AI, right? Generative AI. Yes, yes. Yeah, they are, generative AI. Yes, when we introduce you to the concept of RAG, right, which is basically for avoiding the hallucination of LLM. In that particular point, we'll be having guardrails concept. Yeah, personal information in the sense. Yes, yes, that yeah, RAG concept is there, right? Yeah, when we discuss about the limitations of LLM, okay, so there LLM is not able to have out the current information. For example, if you take GPT 4 or 3.5, it was trained till 2025 only, 2023. Let's take. And if you are asking a question from 24 or 25, it is not able to answer that, right? So these kind of limitations are there for LLM. One being outdated information, and the second one being your the current one, private data, personal data, or company related data. So at that particular point, we will be learning it. And yes, do we have any other questions? So you can unmute yourselves and ask any question.
RAG we'll be covering in detail, right?
Yes, yes, yes. Obviously, it is required. It is required because almost all of the chatbots we are creating these days, right? They'll be having the RAG in it. Okay, so it is mandatory to have an in-depth understanding of RAG.
I said,
Deep learning. Yes, somebody has asked me a question, like whether we are going to have a project on deep learning or not, so that they'll have in-depth knowledge, right? Deep learning, yes, we do have projects on it. Okay, so yes, real world data set we will take up, and we'll proceed with the deep learning concept. Actually, when we say about deep learning, okay, RNN, LSTM, or transformers, so all these are applications, or the neural networks which are part of deep learning only. So deep learning is not a single concept which doesn't have anything like this. Okay, deep learning is a concept which introduces your neural networks. Okay, based on these neural networks, we have created RNN, LSTM, GRU, and till transformers. Okay, so as we are covering all of these topics, each and every mini project will be covered. Okay, so that you can explain the same in your interview. Okay, it's not a single concept. It's not a all the concepts from deep learning are interrelated with each other. They advance actually. Okay, yeah. Any other question? No, 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 no. NLP is mandatory, and deep learning as well. Okay, so NLP is nothing but natural language processing, where we convert text to numbers, right? And using this NLP for, I mean, the application of NLP is nothing but text generation. Okay, and that particular text generation we will be using the deep learning neural network like RNN, LSTM, etc. Okay, so deep learning and NLP are interrelated with each other, and we are going to give equal importance to both of them, and it is required actually. Yes, do we have any other question, or we can wind up the session?
Difference between LLM and agent.
Difference between LLM and agents, so we have already talked about it, right? LLMs basically they need human intervention. Okay, when you create a a chatbot using just LLM plus RAG or LangChain, okay, so we will have to have a, intervention, human intervention. Whereas agents, you know, they'll be providing or doing the task independently, where we'll have a minimal intervention. Okay, so let's say basic LLM requires 50% of human efforts for doing any task. AI agents, you know, they do not require anything at all. So basically, it can agent is something which can reason, plan, and make decisions, you know, and take actions as well. So we need not to perform any action. So when you create a AI agent, okay, so that is the thing. Vector database, I was telling you, right, that two capstone projects, AWS and we have a GCP, right? In GCP we will be using BigQuery as a vector database. Yeah. Yes, I think I have answered all of your questions. If you have any particular doubts, you can text me and I'll be able to answer. And firstly, I would like to say that tomorrow is going to be a crucial session where I'll be explaining you the introduction to deep learning. Okay, and the day after tomorrow, it will be introduction to NLP. Okay, so that way we'll be progressing. And once we finish these free demo sessions, you know, from Monday onwards, possibly we'll inform that from Monday onwards we'll be starting our regular batch starting from Python. Yes. Okay, I hope I have answered all of your questions, and if you have any more, you can always ping me and I'll be able to answer that. May take some time, but surely I'll try to answer it. Yeah. So it's already 10:15. We should be winding up. Do you have any other questions? You can ask me, or we'll wind up the session.
Are you giving any overview on that prompt engineering?
Yes, yes, it is required actually. So when we say that you're going to attend the interview, right? So obviously they'll be asking about prompt engineering. Okay. So as we said that it is a job-oriented program, I should, you know, assure you that you have to clear that particular interview. So prompt engineering must be explained. Okay, so I do not have any alternate option to you know, skip it. I should explain it. Yeah,
Thank you.
I hope that's the questions from the audience. So, and firstly, you keep this in your mind. So is generative AI difficult? Learning generative AI is difficult means actually it is not. Is learning generative AI is difficult? Difficult? It is not, because you know, if you are a data engineer or a data scientist, ML engineer, or whoever, you need to have things from very basics, or you must be good at maths and these algorithms, that algorithms, etc., etc. But if you have someone who can simplify the concept and explain you, like we have implemented for some things, right, explaining math problems, etc., etc., you will be able to grasp most of it. Okay, and it won't take much of the time as well. Yeah, so to give you answer to it, learning generative AI is not difficult if you follow a sequential manner, and if you have someone to teach you the concepts easily. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much. And it's already 10:20, so we should be winding up. Yeah. If you have any further questions, you can contact management, and they'll be able to answer it, like course fee, etc., etc. They'll be able to answer that. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hello, Naveen.